Hello and welcome to Fact or Fiction on Sportuccino. My name is Richard Parr and I am your host every single Monday at 11 GMT. This program is live on YouTube, on Facebook, on Periscope and of course at sportuccino.com. It is also a podcast which you can listen back to not only on Stitcher, not only on TuneIn, but also on iTunes. So we are absolutely everywhere. And on a Monday, we play Fact or Fiction, looking back at some of the biggest sports stories of the weekend. And each week I have a different guest from the world of sport, from sports journalists to sports stars. And this week, I've got a football coach for you. I am delighted to say that joining me on the programme, live from Canada, it's really early in the morning there, Munib Koric. Munib, welcome to the programme. You're an absolute trooper this morning for staying awake. Thank you so much.
Good morning, Richard. Thank you for having me, and I'm very happy to be your guest today in your program.
Munib, it's really good to have you on the programme. Of course, we will be playing Fact or Fiction as we look back at some of the events of the weekend and also look forward to what we've got to come. Of course, it is the UEFA Champions League to come this week, and two of our topics in particular are going to be circled around Real Madrid. And before we start that, I'd like to talk a bit about your journey as a football coach. And I believe recently you've been doing one of your UEFA courses with Real Madrid. Just tell us a little bit about that and how it came about.
Mm-hmm. Yes, actually, in February this year, I went to my apprentice with Real Madrid, which was very great experience. And this apprentice is part of UEFA Pro license. I finished UEFA Pro license, which is one of highest coaching budgets right now that you can have it. And final part of this program was apprentice with Pro Club, right? And I got opportunity through some friends to do apprentice with Real Madrid with Zinedine Zidane, which was great experience for me.
So when you say friends, are we talking friends like Davor Suker friends, Munib?
Yes, he was main connection in all this. Yeah, he actually I get apprenticeship with West Ham United. And in the last moment, we just switched. I got opportunity through him to go to Real Madrid, and we decide this time I should go to Real Madrid, and that was it.
So what's it like? Were you spending a lot of time with Zidane around the players, and how did it all work there?
Yes, pretty much. I was around whole thing, right? I mean, I was following all teams from U10 to men's team, right? And it was really all days. I was scheduled for 2 weeks, all day, pretty much on facility, right? Watching, U10s, U14s, U18s, reserve team, first team, and just like that, right? Yeah, it was great. Yeah, talking to all coaches, exchanging experience and see what they do, how they do, and that was great.
Was there any young player in particular we should look out for in the future that you may have noticed?
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, Real Madrid academies, it's pretty much young prospects from all around the world, and in second team in Castilla, they show me a few guys and they said you have to watch him in next few years, and they will be supposed to be big stars. But how I said, they just pick up, scouting. Real Madrid scouting system is so big and so good, and they just picking up, best talents around the world, bringing him back to Madrid, and probably some of these guys will be, future stars for Real Madrid for sure.
Was there one thing in particular you learnt more than anything else during your time there?
All set up around Real Madrid is like just unbelievable, because I visit Manchester City Academy. I take some of my players from here and try out, and I have a lot of friends in Manchester City Academy. in Bayern Munich academy and few another big clubs around. But Real Madrid impressed me with everything. Starting, when you walk in facility, it's something different. It's just all set up, and treatment of players was, quite different than anywhere else I see. They really, treat these people like superstars. You know what I mean? It's unbelievable.
No.
All set up. Yeah, it's just a little bit different than everywhere else I see so far.
No more cleaning of the boots for the young apprentices anymore. Munib, we're going to get on to fact or fiction now. We'll talk a bit more about your career and your life after we go through some of these topics. As we are live, we are cropping your head a little bit. So would you be able to just sit back a little bit so we can see your head? There we go. Perfect. Much better. And let's play fact or fiction. We have been speaking about Real Madrid, and that is going to be our first topic of the day. Of course, they had that very surprising 2-1 defeat against Girona, the Catalan club, winning 2-1, coming from behind to do that after Isco had given them an early lead. And Real Madrid are now 8 points behind the leaders, Barcelona. So what we're saying today is Real Madrid's La Liga title challenge is over. Fact or fiction, Munib? What do you think?
I think it's still not. It's not done. I think Zidane will find a way to fight back and go back on track again. And yes, it was surprising loss yesterday after 1-0 lead, but again, I don't think so that they're done with title again, because they have still to play Barcelona, and he's still looking for form, because they play with. They don't have right form right now, but I think Real will be back on track again. It's long season, and I'm sure they will challenge again Barcelona for first place. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that they still have strength and quality to do that.
Yeah, I'm going to say fiction as well, Munib. I think they've had 2 defeats. They had that defeat at home to Real Betis. They've had 2 draws against Levante and Valencia. Of course, Valencia are doing really well this season. They're second. They're just 4 points behind Barcelona. But as you mentioned, those 2 Clasico games are going to be so important. And of course, Real Madrid won both of the matches in the Supercopa before the season started. So that's potentially 6 points there. That then becomes a 2-point gap. Then all Barcelona need to do is draw 1 or 2 games, and Real Madrid are right back into the hunt. The one thing I've been surprised with, Munib, is sometimes I feel like Real Madrid have been putting out pretty weak teams for some of these smaller matches. I know they're looking ahead towards the Champions League and matches like that, but I think there's been times this season where Zidane has shuffled his pack a little bit too much. So that's just my thoughts on that, and we can maybe talk a little bit more about that on the coaching side when we get back to your career later in the programme. But let's move on. Let's talk about our next topic on fact or fiction. It is related to Real Madrid still, because they are in action in the Champions League this week. I believe it's on Tuesday against Tottenham. It's going to be at Wembley Stadium. Of course, they had that 1-1 draw a fortnight ago at the Bernabeu, but Harry Kane wasn't able to play in Saturday's defeat to Manchester United, where they lost 1-0. And he is expected, they're hoping he will be fit for the game against Real Madrid. So we are saying on him, Tottenham can only get a result against Real Madrid if Harry Kane is fit to play. Fact or fiction? What do you think?
I think with Harry Kane, Tottenham is much stronger team, but I still think they have abilities to win anybody, even without him. Yes, he's most influential right now, probably player for Tottenham, and his left hamstring, injury maybe will keep him sitting again out from next game. But I think they can surprise Real without him too. Yeah, I think they can get result. But again, first game Real was, playing good. Probably could win, but yeah, Tottenham have good moments in second half for sure.
I wonder how much actually that defeat to Girona is a bad thing for Spurs, because probably Real Madrid are going to get quite the rollicking from Zidane on that result, and will probably really look to put a bit of punishment towards Tottenham. I think this would matter more if it was at the Bernabeu. I'm still going to say fact, because I think Kane is such an important player. It'll be interesting to see how Spurs set up. I was surprised they dropped Dyer against Manchester United, and I was surprised Dyer played instead of Sanchez, that they dropped Sanchez, and Dyer played in defence. And of course, the goal that they conceded from Anthony Martial in that 1-0 defeat to Manchester United, a few people have criticised Dyer for not getting on the right side of the French forward. I wonder if Sanchez will return. I also think whether Fernando Llorente will play against Real Madrid. They played those two strikers up front, Kane and Llorente, against Real in that first game, and it seemed to work well. While against United, they played Son up front. So there's a few different tactics, but I do think they could almost definitely get something with Harry Kane. I think it's a lot harder without. But of course, this is a game of opinions, Munib, so we'll have to wait and see what happens. And it's all very exciting stuff there. Of course, if anyone watching this program, whether it's on YouTube, Facebook, on Periscope, or at Sportuccino.com, has any opinions about any of the topics we're talking about today, please get involved in the program. We would love to hear from you. All right, let's move on, Munib, to our next topic. And we're moving away from Spurs in North London to Arsenal. Arsenal 2-1 winners over Swansea at the weekend. A goal coming from Sean Kolasinac, their free signing from Schalke. So we're saying Arsenal defender Sean Kolasinac is the bargain of the season. Fact or fiction, Munib?
I think he's. I mean, I follow him closely because he's my country guy and Bosnian like myself, and hardworking player, going through a few injuries in past, and people almost say okay, he's done, and he come back stronger than he was, and I think he was bargain for Arsenal, and I see fans like him a lot, and I think that's he find the right club for himself. That was good move, and I think Arsenal is get good deal, very good deal with him.
Well,
I'm pretty sure about that.
Just from the little bit that I've seen of him, Munib, you mentioned having injury troubles there. He's definitely very fast, but he's also very physical and he's very big. Does that contribute to some of these injuries?
His injury was when he was in Schalke, few years ago. Yeah, just before World Cup, I think, with in Brazil, right? But he come back. Yeah, I mean, he's playing very hard, right? And if you see his size and way he plays, and I mean, he's like a really big guy and who play. He don't save nobody, not himself, not people around him, right? Opponents, and yeah, it's really if you watch him live, he's really great athlete, and yeah, I think he's a good player. I think Premier League is very good fit. He was doing good in Bundesliga, but I think Premier League is very good fit for him.
Fantastic. Well, I'm going to also say fact. I think he's been pretty impressive. I think he's looked good, and obviously had a huge contribution in that win over Swansea with the goal. The one player I think a few people could say up there for potential bargains of the season has been Pascal Gross of Brighton. Again, involved in another assist. I think he's been involved in 8 of Brighton's 13 goals or something like that. He only cost, I think it was around 3 million from Ingolstadt. So another player brought over from the Bundesliga. But you got to say, for no money, considering the amount of sums we're talking these days, and 200 million for Neymar, and with the greatest respect to Kolasinac, he's not in the same level as Neymar, but he's also not 200 million pounds less. That's the thing. A lot of money, and so definitely for me the bargain of the season. Viewers, what do you think? Is Sean Kolasinac the bargain of the season? Let us know on the Twitter page at Sportuccino. All right, one more topic to talk to Munib about, and it is, of course, about England's under-17 World Cup victory, winning 5-2 over Spain. They were 2-0 down. Manchester City's Phil Foden winning the Player of the Tournament award. Players to have won that in the past includes Toni Kroos and Cesc Fabregas. But we're going to talk about the future of English football here. And England's under-17 victory means the men's national team will win one of the next 4 World Cups. Fact or fiction, Munib?
Looks promising for England for sure. I mean, in the fact that under 17 now won, that was quite impressive game. And if you remember that under 20 won World Cup 2, which is only I think second country beside Brazil to do that, right? To win under 17, under 20 back to back. That's quite impressive. But doesn't mean still nothing. It's now, for example, this young prospect Phil Foden, right, from Manchester City, right? He's from Manchester City player. It's now all dependent how is he going to be treated in Premier League. Is he going to have soon opportunity to play or not? For example, I think looks promising for England. I hope it's going to come something good for men's national team, but I really cannot. Nobody can guarantee that, right? Because now it's going to be very important how these young players will be treated. Are they going to get a chance to play in Premier League, or they will be, go somewhere else in lower divisions and never break through in top level in England, which is going to be very important if they do. So
it's interesting, Munib, how actually not so many English players do ply their trade abroad and look for other opportunities. The only real club which, well, maybe Manchester United as well, but I'm looking at Chelsea and their links with the Dutch teams, where they send a lot of their young players over there. But as far as full-fledged players in their 20s, there aren't too many English players which go and play abroad and perhaps give themselves other opportunities. When you look at other countries like Spain and Germany, where the players are playing all over the place, albeit a strong part of the German team over the years has been from Bayern Munich as well. I'm going to say fiction just because I never think England are ever going to win anything. I've been hurt by them too many times, Munib. But you're right, the future does look promising. But
it looks promising, at least. I mean, under 20, after under 20 won, I mean, that means it's some good prospect there for sure, some good players, because if you're winning, doesn't matter if it's under 17, under 20 on world stage, that should be good, right? Should be promising, right? Now it's all how they're gonna be treated, right? I mean, if we go back, for example, when Yugoslavian team won under 20 World Cup in Chile, from same generation, Davor Šuker, Zvonimir Boban, and Alan Bokšić, and a bunch of these guys, Mijatovic. They all become quite superstars in Europe. Everybody play for Real Madrid, Juventus, Marseille, and everybody else, right? But yeah, we'll see. I hope England. I have a lot of English friends here, and people like soccer so much, or football in England. And I hope good things will happen.
Yeah, me too. I don't think it's going to happen next year in Russia, but maybe a few down the line. We'll have to wait and see there. Well, Munib, it's been really good to talk to you about fact or fiction. Let's just talk a little bit more about some of your coaching. Obviously, there we were talking about the under-17s, and you've worked quite close with a few of the young players in the Canadian Football League. Is that right?
Yes, yeah. I coach some kids who play for Canada national team now and playing in MLS. It's still kind of slow process here, but yeah, we hope things will be better soon. But still not, it's not runway. I think should be done, but yeah, probably they still need more time.
What do you mean by that? What way should not be done? What needs to change?
What I mean by that, Canada still don't have her own professional league, which is very unusual, because if you look worldwide, it's no country in the world that doesn't have a professional league. Doesn't matter if it's good league or average league or inexpensive league. Here is not pro league, and about 40 million people with a lot of good talents don't have place to play. We have 3 teams in MLS: Vancouver, Toronto, and Montreal, and that's basically not enough for all young players. That's the reason why young people, stop playing with 17 when everybody else they're trying to play more than ever before, right? Yeah, just few things like that, right? That need to be changed, but yeah, hopefully it will change.
And
sometime soon.
And I know you've been working all weekends coaching young kids, and we're going to wrap this up shortly because I know you need to get some sleep as it's 5:30 in the morning there. But just tell us about who you've been coaching over this past weekend and what you've been up to in the last few weeks, and also what you've got going forward, please.
Yeah, I'm running a soccer academy, a football academy here called Golden Goal Soccer Academy, and I'm doing that for last few years, right? More than 10 years here, right? And basically what's happening, I have kids from, 8 years old till 18, with all selections, boys and girls, and yeah, that's basically what I'm doing on full time here. That's all.
Fantastic. And for anyone watching in Canada over there, where online can they find more about your academy?
It's on website. It's goldengoalsocceracademy.com. That's my website or club website who I'm working with, and yeah, it's a lot of stuff on internet. But basically, it's goldengoalsocceracademy.ca actually.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's where we can find more information. So,
well, I'll make sure we share it across our social media channels. Munib, it's been really good to talk to you. Thanks for playing Fact or Fiction, and thank you for being on Sportuccino today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you very much for having me, and yeah, we will talk again for sure.
Definitely. Really good to speak to Munib on today's Fact or Fiction. Of course, we've got more Fact or Fiction on our Twitter page, talking away from football. Let me just talk about those categories quickly for you. We have got, this is the one about the under-17 victory, but also we were speaking about the boxing. The referee was right to stop the Anthony Joshua Takam fight in the 10th round. Fact or Fiction? Head over to twitter.com/Sportuccino to get involved in that conversation. Plus, of course, congratulations to Lewis Hamilton for winning his 4th world's title following the Mexican Grand Prix. But can he beat Michael Schumacher's record of 7 world titles? Head to twitter.com/Sportuccino, where we have got Lewis Hamilton can beat Michael Schumacher's record of 7 F1 world titles. Fact or Fiction? Get involved in those conversations on Twitter. And of course, we've got all of our previous episodes for you at sportuccino.com. And we also have all of our Best in the World with Rich Parr podcast, where I speak to world and Olympic champions to find out what they do differently from the rest of us to be the best in the world. You'll also be able to buy some merchandise, such as this really cool Sportuccino mug that I've been drinking from, and you get the chance to follow our email subscriber list. Please join the list there. I give some really good sports-related tips and hints and social media-related tips and tools as well every single Friday. In fact, at the moment, I'm giving 7 tips and tools for you to get high-profile interview guests. Maybe they will be as good as Munib Koric was today on today's Fact or Fiction. All right, I'll be back next Monday at 11 GMT on Facebook, on YouTube, on Periscope, and of course at sportuccino.com. I've been Richard Parr, and I will speak to you again next week. Have a great week, guys. Bye.